Hello everybody, my name is Kyle and welcome back to my room. Today, I'm a fucking scientist. And what do scientists do? They conduct experiments, that's right. What am I talking about? I know from the title of the video, you already had a preconceived notion in your mind. But that's the question we're going to be asking today is, does really tuning your guitar lower make it sound heavier, or is it another industry lie? Just a disclaimer, everything in this video is subjective, but also a little bit objective. See, when I think of metal, I think of Judas Priest, I think of Metallica, obviously. I think about their sound is more like metal, obviously, clanking against each other, and not like sludge, which is what I find myself really thinking about when I listen to Sleep Token or Slaughter to Prevail, or even Slipknot. Older Slipknot kind of has a best of both worlds situation going on, but at the same time, you don't really get anything from that. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this guitar, which is Phaedra, by the way, if you were wondering, which is my Dean Z79. These are the stock pickups that come with the 79 reissues, I believe, but it's going to go straight into my pedal board, which has an SD1 overdrive in it, into my Marshall head, which is going to be on the Ultra Gain channel on the green mode. We're going to scoop out all of those mids so that we get that shock greatness that you get from any metal song. And of course, the actual important part of guitar sound design is the speakers. The speakers are 25 watt greenbacks in my Seymour Duncan cab. I hope you guys enjoy this experiment, but now we're going to actually talk about the experiment itself. So with this guitar, we're going to be doing technically 9 tunings. We're going to start off in E standard, which is obviously standard tuning, and then we're going to go down to E flat, D standard, and then C sharp, C, B, which would be the beginning of 7-string territory, then A standard, which is like the end of 7-string, and then G standard, which is kind of 8-string, and then finally we're gonna drop it to the octave of E. I don't even like drop tunings. I said it. I don't like how they're formatted. I don't like how open they are. I want tightness. I want. But the only way we're going to actually get that is that if we have standard tuning. And the reason why I'm not using multiple guitars for this is obviously because I need constant variables. I need a constant guitar. I need a constant tone. I need a constant output from the speakers. The only thing that really changes, the only variable, is the tunings themselves. Also, no post, no EQing of any kind. That means whatever comes out of that speaker cab is going directly into that DAW. I'm using a Reaper, by the way. I said cocoa butter kisses. Let's get into it. We're going to start off with E, obviously, and then work our way down. So, I'll see you guys when the experiment is done. I should also preface that I'm not going to be double tracking any of these or quad tracking. And the reason why is because I want you to actually hear the guitar signal and not multiple guitar signals. Also, that is a lot of channels. I think that's like, what, 20 channels into my Reaper DAW? Speaking of that, I'm going to show you how to actually get a heavy tone out of E, E flat, and D. But let's actually get started with the experiment. First is E standard, and then we're going to go all the way down to the octave. Oh, we're also going to be doing that with the Whammy pedal. I forgot to mention that. Let's get started! Okay, welcome back to the Talking Corner. So what is the evidence that I gathered? Well, obviously, the E standard Am I Evil riff is obviously iconic and it's still plenty heavy. E flat just sounds fucking evil. D is like Satan, like dragging you to hell. Like, but then C sharp comes around and it doesn't sound right. It starts getting flubby, but I think I like it. I like C sharp. I play C sharp sometimes, but not all the time. And then there's C. So C, I was actually surprised by C. It was pretty still heavy. It was still really heavy, but my ear kept gravitating towards the E. And it's not because of the riff. I really think it's just because of how heavy it sounds in E. Maybe if I did it with a different riff, maybe it would be different. And then came B standard. B standard sounded really weird, and I really didn't like it. A sounded really flubby, like really flubby. And yes, I did actually tune my guitar all the way down to G standard, which is completely detuned. It's almost unplayable. But I couldn't really make out some of those pitches. Maybe it's because I'm going deaf, or it's just because maybe it's not that heavy. So how do you make a guitar sound heavy in E standard? Well, I think there's a really great way to do this, and every pro uses it. Quad tracking. So we're gonna do the same riff, Am I Evil, first with only one track, and then with 4, so that you can actually see why so many labels and so many metal records have quad tracking or even sextuple tracking or whatever, because it works. It makes your guitar sound 10 times heavier. And in my opinion, this is what actually makes a guitar sound heavy, is proper sound design. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, what did we learn today? I learned that tuning your guitar does not make it heavier. Instead, it makes it flubbier and harder to track. Now, how to actually make your sound heavy is to have multiple tracks. And what I did is I simply just did the same riff consistently on every take. That's how you make a heavy sound. I really believe that if you properly track your guitars, if you properly play, and you think outside the box, you can sound heavy in E, E flat, and D. That's really all that you need. Sure, you can go down to drop whatever, but you're not going to sound heavier. You're going to sound less audible. You're going to sound sludgy, in my opinion. You're not accurate and precise like a lot of these other tunings are, but that's just my opinion. Of course, my ears are tuned differently than yours, but I am right. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Please take this video with a grain of salt. Don't actually, take my word as gospel. It is the facts, and I just proved it right there, is that it's not as heavy as a lot of other people may think it is. Hope you guys have a great rest of your guys' day, and please like, comment, follow, subscribe, do whatever you want. Or don't. I don't give a shit.